Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to stamp. Stamping is a type of nail art where you basically take an image from an etched metal plate and you do a little bit of magic and transfer the etchings from the metal plate to your fingers. Sounds a little complicated, but I promise you that it's not once you get the hang of it. So let's start out with a few things that I suggest for your stamping adventures. You're going to need the plate. This is one that I'm going to be using today. It says Bundle Monster on the back, but I'm pretty sure Maniology sells this now because Bundle Monster was what they were before they rebranded. So Bundle Monster has been around for a long time, aka Maniology. They're a great place to buy plates from. Highly recommend them. They have gotten so much better over the years. And I also have a coupon code if you would like to use it. It's in the description. I think I make a slight amount of commission off of it, but you also get 10% off of your order. So it's up to you if you want to use it or not. Doesn't matter to me. But you're gonna need a plate, or a few, or more. Also, I'm going to probably want a stamping specific nail polish. Now there are some nail polishes that are opaque enough that you can use them for stamping. However, I find that I get the best results when I'm using stamping specific nail polishes. This one's also from Maniology. It's again Bundle Monster branded, but it's the same company. And then this is called Bam White. So just a plain basic white. I'll open it up in a little bit. You'll see that the color is a lot more opaque than just a regular white nail polish, and that's what helps it stamp better. You're gonna need a stamper, I guess. Actually, I'm not sure what to call this. Stamping head, I guess. A lot of the ones that are on the market today are clear so that you can see through it and, align your stamp better. It used to be that they were these opaque sticks basically and had the rubber on each end. And you just kind of had to guess. Like, you had to know what you were doing, I guess. But a lot of trial and error went into that, and then they came out with these clear ones, and all of a sudden the world changed. At least for nail artists. Okay, so this is just a plain, I think this one is called the Monocle. It's also from Maniology. You'll see a reoccurring theme here. I swear I do have other products. I guess I prefer Maniology. They're a good one-stop shop. They have a lot of other things besides just stamping. And they are also based in Hawaii, so the amount of time that it takes to get from there to my front door is actually pretty minimal considering it has to cross an ocean. But anyway, so this is the stamper that I prefer now. They also have ice cube ones, which are more rectangular. I prefer this one. A little bit more firm than the ice cube one. So you'll also need a scraper. Now this one came bundled with, I think, an ice cube stamping head. But really, you can use this. You can use any kind of old gift card, a rewards card that you don't use, an old credit or debit card. Honestly, anything that's a plastic card that has a little bit of flexibility, but you don't want it to be too floppy. I do have some that are too floppy that I don't prefer. I prefer a little bit more of a firm card. So I do really like these, and you can see this one's been used quite a bit. Has no effect on the actual function of the card. You just need a card. I do use Q-tips for cleanup. When I get into the tutorial, I do clean up around the edges with a Q-tip. But another thing that you can use is Scotch tape or packaging tape, any kind of clear tape you can actually use to clean up around the edges, like on your skin. You can also use liquid latex if you really want to get into that. This one is from Twinkled Tea. This one's from Vibrant Vinyls. They're basically the same thing. You could get a thing of liquid latex and put it into a bottle like this. I actually have an old video of how I made my own liquid latex way back in the day, and I'll link it in the cards, I guess. It's quite an old video, so take it with a grain of salt, but you can make your own liquid latex and it's super easy, super cheap. But these are also pretty easy to use and pretty cheap, so they're good to have around. But also Q-tip and acetone works fine, and also Scotch tape works like a dream. Getting into things that you don't necessarily need but make your life a whole lot easier is a lint roller. These are like the skeletons of manicures past. Some designs that have been on my stamper and been cleaned off. So I'll show you how to use this in the tutorial but if you have a lint roller, go ahead and grab it because it'll come in handy. So now that you've got all those items, you hopefully want to keep your stamping manicure around for a little bit, you know, not just one day. So what I recommend to seal it all in is Maniology has a smudge-free top coat, which I love. It's water-based, and I think that is the trick to top coating a stamping manicure. Otherwise you run the risk of smudging it. You can also float your top coat, which is a little bit harder of a technique, especially if you're just starting out and you're quite proud of your stamping. You don't want to screw it up at the last minute, which I've done plenty of times. But this one I also like if I don't feel like going in with the smudge-free top coat. This is the Fast and Hard by Vibrant Vinyls again. It's a good glossy top coat and it is very easy to float. So if you want to try that method, go ahead and grab one of these or any thicker consistency top coat. You want it to be thick enough that you can kind of make that bead for the floating part. Something to keep in your toolbox. This is Stamping Polish Thinner from Born Pretty. This will absolutely save your stamping polishes. They have a tendency to kind of get thicker than normal polish, much quicker than normal polish because they're so pigmented. So if you grab this from, say, AliExpress, I think Born Pretty has this online store that ships from the US now. That may not be true. I actually don't know because I just grab things from AliExpress and then wait the month for shipping. But anyway, so I grabbed one of these and it's been really good to get that fluidity back into stamping polishes once they get a little thicker. All that being said, let's get to stamping. So this is a manicure that I did the other day. As you can see, my nails are two different colors, whatever. This is just a ombre that I did with regular nail polish. One trick that I will tell you as a beginner for stamping, if you have the ability to use a gel top coat, do it. It'll make your life so much easier. You won't mess up the absurd amount of manicures. So what I did with this is I did the ombre one night before I went to bed, woke up the next morning, put the gel top coat on, and then cured it like you normally would with a gel top coat. So your polish has a chance to dry underneath and it gives you the ability to just kind of take a swipe of acetone and take off this stamp. I'm actually going to show you how easy that is. So got my acetone here, it's just in a pump, and I'm going to put my paper towel under here and then watch how easy. So I wanted to keep that in real time just so that you can see how quick and simple it is to swap out a manicure if you don't stamp it right, or if you decide on a different pattern afterwards. Putting the gel top coat over it will save you plenty of headaches. I think I'm going to switch this out completely, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the stamp off of my ring finger as well. This one's on there a little bit better. I think I've used more top coat. So the layering with this is regular polish base coat, then I use the regular polish, a layer of the orange, and then I sponged on the pink and the middle color. After that, let it dry for probably 12 hours. I would estimate 12 hours. And then you wipe the surface of your nail with an alcohol-soaked lint-free wipe, which will make the base gel coat stick to it better. And then you just go ahead and put the gel top coat on it and nuke it for like, I don't know, 30 seconds or 60 seconds, whatever your gel top coat says. So after that, then you can stamp whatever you want and put this regular nail polish top coat over it and you're good to go for like, I don't know, up to a week, I would say. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move these to the side because I'm not gonna use those. I'm gonna use liquid latex just to show you how easy it makes your life. I'll show you one nail with liquid latex and one doing the scotch tape trick, even though I don't think I have scotch tape, but whatever. Okay, so here's our plate. I'm gonna switch it up. I did this one before, so I think I'm gonna choose, I really like this one. It's like an Art Deco triangular style. So here is my stamping polish. I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. You can kind of see it's a little bit thicker, a little bit more chalky consistency. And then take the polish. What did I say? This one, right? And you're gonna put a good amount, thick stripe down one side. Slide that over, get your scraper, swipe it, wipe it off, and pick it up with your stamper. A lot of stamping is just getting used to the motions and doing it in a timely manner. So I'm gonna clean it off with the lint roller, like that. Now we can peel off this liquid latex, and that just simplifies your cleanup. Otherwise you'd have to sit there with the Q-tip and clean around, but because we use the liquid latex, that's it. I'm actually gonna go in with a little bit of acetone because I missed that spot, but there you go, just like that. I'm gonna do the same thing, but first, see how this has like a white shadow? That's leftover paint that's dried onto the plate. So because of that, your stamper isn't going to pick up the image as well as if it were clean. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take my acetone and just kind of rub it like this. And no more white. So that's ready to go. And then I said we were gonna use the tape this time, so I'm not gonna use the liquid latex. Put that aside. Grab my paint, my polish, and do the same thing. So you almost don't want to scrape off. See how much polish I have on my brush there? You almost don't want to scrape it off when you're taking it out of the bottle. Do that. And then in one continuous motion, you're doing this. And then I'm just gonna, just like that. So notice how I just kind of like pressed it down there. Some people will roll the stamp. Some people just kind of push it down. The fact of the matter is you shouldn't have to press down too much. It should be a pretty light touch, but that all depends on how soon after you pick up the image that you press it onto your nail. Now, some people will do, it's called reverse stamping, so they'll take an image, pick it up on here, paint in certain details, and then put it on their finger. Because the image has then dried, you want to use a sticky base coat for that to pull it off of the stamper, but that's like way advanced. So I don't have Scotch tape, but what I do have is packaging tape. So I'm gonna take a little piece off here and show you what I mean. Got my packaging tape, you can kind of see it. So this is the finger that we're gonna work on, and you just literally just kind of press it against the skin. Sometimes it picks up easier than others. I think it depends on whether your fingers are moisturized and also how dry the polish was before you put it on. So there we go. So just like that. No acetone needed, no nail polish remover. Usually if I have all the time in the world, I'll sit here and do this, because really it's just a matter of like trial and error and going back and forth. But I think I'm gonna go in with a Q-tip. Got most of it off, but now I'm gonna use this acetone soaked Q-tip and just kind of run that alongside. What I like to do is kind of get up in here, like the side walls, just using the edges of the Q-tip. And I think that works best because of it's less fluffy, I guess, so it makes it easier. Now this is super easy to do with white. Black stamping polish, on the other hand, is kind of messy, kind of a brat to work with, but it's still possible. It just, you may need to wash your hands after you stamp to like get the residual pigment off of your edges. Or, you know, maybe you have perfect cuticles and that's none of my business, but I don't, so here we are. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this cleanup brush, dip it in acetone, and then use it to like just clean up the very edges over here. Because I see these white specks and they're gonna bug me. I'm gonna take my smudge-free top coat, show you how great it is. No smudges, yay! And then what I usually do is I'll take a coat of the top, what I usually do is take a layer of this, put it on, wait for this to dry, and then put my regular top coat on. You could totally just use this, but I like the glossiness of a regular top coat over it. This one kind of sinks in almost and isn't as glossy. There we go, that's my stamping tutorial. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'm happy to answer them. I've been doing this for a pretty long time, so I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on stamping. There are lots of tips and tricks. I try to pack them all into this video, but obviously I can't include everything. So if there's something that you're struggling with in particular, let me know. I'm happy to help out. Like I said before, the maniology discount code will be in the description. It does come back to me, but you also get 10% off of everything except for, I believe, their subscription boxes. So it's a great value, knocks a little bit more off of their already pretty affordable prices. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoy your stamping manicures, and I will see you in the next video.